Hello everyone, my name is Adar and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. Been working on a new career and I thought I'd bring you along for the journey that we're going to the moon. I'm not ready right now to land on the moon, but I need more science. It would take me a while to get science on Kerbin, so I thought I'd just go to the moon, do a few EVAs around the moon, really close to it, get some science that are pretty quick, and then come back. So this is my rocket that I've been working on. This is the console version, Xbox One. So I am very limited in what I can do. This rocket actually works for me, so might as well use it. I'm sorry that the video is dark. It's the console version, so I really can't do anything about it. I could edit it in post, but it's a lot of trouble to do that. I tried every 10 minutes. It would just seem like I would spend maybe 5 to 10 hours, and it was going to look any better than what I could do. Okay, so we don't need to really see any of this. This is just me getting up into orbit and heading over to the moon. I guess I'll describe everything that's happening. Those are just my rocket boosters that I got rid of. There's the first stage that I just got rid of. Now I'm just burning these 2 extra solid rocket boosters to get me up into a higher suborbit. Okay, I'm just going to continue on burning towards the moon and hope that it works. And I kind of overshoot it and play around with getting it closer or further away. But in the end, it's really perfect. Okay, so we get right up high over the moon, and I'm going to do my first EVA here so I can get some science for high over the moon. And there we go. EVA high over the moon. And all I'm doing is just storing it into the command pod and getting back in and going to the next place. And this is the Xbox One version, so there's still many bugs. But the people that had it before, Flying Tiger Entertainment, they have stepped down, and Blitworks is now working on it. And hopefully a new release will be soon with plenty of new content for the 1.2 update, I think. Okay, right here I'm just getting down to right here, and I'm going to try getting into an orbit around the moon. I'm aiming for at least 10 to 15,000 kilometers above the surface. Okay, what I want to do is get it pretty low. That way I can EVA and get the science for over that certain biome. Okay, I just got it over the right amount that I wanted. And what I want to do is get out at every biome that I can, which would be like the crater, the canyon, midlands, highlands, every crater there is, and I'll get a lot of science. So while I'm going around, I might as well just talk a little bit about the game. So, Flying Tiger Entertainment stepped down, or pretty much got fired, and now Blitworks is working on this game. Flying Tiger didn't really have any games under their belt. Blitworks, however, has a lot of games like Amnesia Collection, Don't Starve Shipwreck, Axum Verge, Crypt of the Necrodancer, Hammerwatch, Super Meat Boy, Bastion, Don't Starve Giant Edition, Spelunky, Sonic CD, just to name a few. Okay, as you see, I'm just trying to maximize every science that I can. I should have had more containers and stuff, but I kind of forgot that. Coming up on this big crater here, I'm going to speed it up, and then we will get out while we were over that crater. Since it's the Xbox version, I can't manually, or I can't automatically warp. I have to move the mouse up to the left and speed faster than 5 times. It's just horrible. So I got the science there, and pretty much that's what I do all around the moon. I will have to do a retrograde burn to get me into a smaller orbit for the other side. So right here I'm warping to the canyon just to speed it up along the way. And I'll hop out here and get some science. So, whenever the game first came out, I had a really nice career going. I was streaming on Twitch a lot, and then the game just stopped saving. It wasn't my save or anything that was messing it up. It was the entire game. Not just mine, it was everybody's. So, what they did is, after, what was it, 70 something days, they put a patch out that still didn't fix it. Okay, so I'm gonna speed it up here. Just what I'm doing is just stopping at every biome, getting science, stopping, getting science. It's gonna get dark pretty soon, but I'm gonna just speed it along here, and once I get to this one part that's pretty funny, I'll stop it. But in the meantime, so yeah, my game messed up big time. Pretty much everybody's game was messing up. 75 days later, they put a patch out, still didn't fix it though. And come around another 70 something days, they still haven't said anything. It was, I think, maybe 2-3 months ago, Flying Tiger and Tamer got kicked out, and now Blitworks is working on it. And they are coming in along at a fast pace, or so they say. And that's where it gets dark. Tried working on the video, but it just made it look really, really bad. Like the nav ball, the fuel gauges up there and everything was like whited out. You couldn't really tell what they were. So I'd have to mask over that and overlay it, and it would just make this whole video way longer than what it should be. So all I did was download the video. I'm doing a voiceover for it. So I'm streaming on Beam now instead of Twitch because it's a little bit easier just doing it on Beam. It's a little bit better quality also. Now, what I try here, no, not here. Coming up, if you can see right there where I'm pointing at, where I was pointing at, there's a twin crater. What I'm going to try doing is getting out and EVAing over to the crater, getting above it, and trying to get the science there. And, well, let's see how that goes. Or if I would unpause the game. There we go. What I was thinking right then is just, go over there, get over the crater, get science. But I didn't really want a chance getting too far away from the command pod because I can't track it, I don't think. Or yeah, I can track it, I guess. but I didn't want to get too far away and not be able to get back. Because right now I already had like 200 science or so. And that's whenever I figured out, yeah, it was going to be too much. And just head back. So I've learned a few tricks here and there. Like whenever I head back to Kerbin, I burn on the near side of the moon, and it helps my orbit out a little bit better. That way I don't use as much fuel, it seems like. I'm not really one that looks up a lot of videos on how to do this. Also, whenever I come over here, I've been trying to like slingshot myself around the moon, but in this one I got in front of the moon to slow down, and it helped out. So right there I'm just messing with the maneuver node to see what I can do, and I get it down pretty close. And I've been playing around with angles and velocities and all that, and I found out that I can do an aero brake at about 40 to 50,000 kilometers, and it helps me slow down. Well, the first time I went and orbited the moon, I think I went down to 55,000, and I had to go around about 10, 20 times. And wow, it really got dark there. But yeah, I went around about 10, maybe 15 times, slowing down very slowly in between. And then finally, it slowed me down just enough that I could re-enter. Plus I had no fuel, so I couldn't change it if I wanted to. Okay, so I'm going to speed it up here, and you really can't see what I'm doing, but I'm going to burn retrograde to my orbit of the moon and get my orbit to go around Kerbin like that. And now I'm going to burn down until about 40,000. I think I got it 41, I really can't tell from here. And I just try to get some science along the way. I don't think I could. See, I'm just speeding up most of this because the video was like an hour and a half long, and I don't think anybody wants to sit through an hour and a half of me just talking and doing hardly anything, just letting it go. Okay, so I'm warping to the closest point that I really can, and I think it was 41,000, 40 something thousand. So I'm gonna try an aero brake to slow me down, and whenever I hit the atmosphere, I'm gonna burn off the rest of my fuel. Okay, right here you can see another bug that they have. All of my actions have moved into one. That happens whenever you EVA, on the Xbox One at least. So if you had a ton of them, you'd have to reorganize them every time. It just gets annoying. What's bad is this is actually my second time trying to get science from the moon and coming back. The first time I went, got a whole bunch of science just like this one, but I was also able, whenever leaving the moon, to slingshot out and head by Minmus. And I got a little science there, and as I was coming back, I just failed horribly. I burnt up in the atmosphere because I forgot to eject the engine and fuel pod at the right time at least. I use it to help slow down and keep me kinda cool. Okay, we're just now entering the atmosphere now, and I retrograde burn with the rest of my fuel that I can. That should keep me a little top heavy and help balance me out. But also, I'm just going to use the engine and fuel container to keep in front of me to let that absorb the heat first. And wow, you cannot see anything on my screen. It may look better on YouTube, I do not know. Oh, we're starting to catch some heat here. But yeah, on my TV, this looked perfect. I could see everything. But in this software, I can't see anything but a big red fireball. Well, and the navigation ball and all that, but yeah, you know what I mean. Okay, so like all my other tries and stuff at this, I thought I was going to slingshot, or not slingshot, but ricochet out of the atmosphere and have to go over and over and over. It wasn't until I think I was down to 37,000 kilometers that I realized I'm going down and I need to prepare, like getting rid of the engine and all. I think it was about right. It should be somewhere about right here. I realized it. I think right here I realized it because the engine is starting to heat up. Yeah, there we go. I'm trying to get rid of it. But what I actually did was activate the engine because of the bug in the game where I had to reset everything. There we go. Got rid of it now. And now we just hope for the best. It's a little tricky keeping it for not overheating. I just check where I'm going to land. I'm going to land in the dark, as usual. So I don't want to overheat. So I'm trying to keep my angle as close to retrograde as I can. Oddly enough, this is one of my best re-entries ever. Oh, that's just pretty. Big fireball in the sky. Yeah, whenever I was playing the game, I could tell that I was going to come down over land. I just couldn't tell on here because it's just so black. Okay, now we're starting to get a little bit safer. And whenever it gets a little bit more safer, I think that's 600 meters a second, I deploy the parachutes, or the drogue chutes. Yeah, there they go. That'll help slow me down. And then a little later I pop the other main parachute. So I'm just going to speed it up along here. And it's pitch black on here, but all that's happening is I fired the other parachute. We're going down. The main parachute will open up pretty soon. There it opens. And we'll make a somewhat smooth landing. Should be landing pretty soon. And there we go. Safely returned. Okay, let's see how much science we've recovered. Xbox version, it takes a while to load, as usual. We got 259.1 science. Most of them gave us about 24 science each. And that's really, really good for me. Because now I have 394 and I can use it on a lot of items. What I bought with it was mainly like big rocketry, uh, some plane parts. I've already built my first plane yesterday. And now I could do those missions that do not orbital, but surveys around Kerbin. Only got 3,762 funds back on that, but oh well. And Jebediah didn't get anything because he's already been around the moon once. What I'm hoping to do now is get a little bit more science and get a rocket that can actually, or a spaceship, whatever, that can go to the moon, land, and come back. Because this is about where I was whenever my first career messed up. I was just getting to landing on the moon and it just completely corrupted. Just looking at some of the stuff. The rescue ones in orbit, I did those today, but I didn't record it. If I have a few more of those, I may do that. But it's basically just a rendezvous in space. Very simple. So, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.